Browns wrapped up the preseason, and it was not a great weekend for Cade York. Missed another a potential game-winning field goal. The Browns moved on from him, but as you could guess, the fan base not happy. Let's head to the voicemail of Truth and Reason with a sample of what the fans were saying.
Hi, Dave. I was just trying to think back in the day, but we haven't had a kicker since, I think, Phil Dawson. He kicks them long kicks where it has like a fade to it, and all he has to do for like a extra point is just straight down the middle. You don't have to be trying to hook to the left or hook to the right. However he uses his feet. Maybe it's the shoe. I don't know what it is, but I'm just really upset because it just seemed like every year for like the last 20 years we can't get a kicker. There's something fictitious about that. Thanks for taking my call.
I've seen that the Browns traded for a running back, Patriots. Why don't they do something about the kicker? Can't go into the season with Cade York, who missed a field goal in every single preseason game this year, and expect him to be the man when the lights come on. I think it's time for him to either get some competition or go, because he could kick Stefanski right out of a job if he misses too many. Stefanski could lose his job. Let Andrew Berry know it's okay to not hit on every draft pick. We have never had no luck drafting kickers except for maybe Phil Dawson if he was drafted. I can't remember. But you can't take Cade York into the season expecting him to put you in a game-winning situation, expect him to win it for a championship-built roster. Go Browns.
As always, appreciate all the voicemails. Well, the Browns thinking along those same lines as they have released Cade York. The reason they do that, they have traded for Dustin Hopkins. So the Browns give the L.A. Chargers a 2025 7th-round pick. They will be releasing Cade York. So what about Dustin Hopkins, the new kicker? It's his 10th year in the league, 85% accuracy on all field goals, 84.8. 15 of 30 on 50-plus yarders, but you see anything 49 and in, 81.8% better, 30 to 39, 93, 20 to 29, 98.1. 10th year in the league, he's 33 years old. He has kicked in inclement weather as before he was with the Chargers. The bulk of his career was with the Washington Redskins, Washington football team, now Washington Commanders. Let's welcome in Tim Bielik from the Plain Dealer as well as cleveland.com. Tim, it's another indication it's win now mode for the Browns.
Yeah, and it's very much a what have you done for me lately type of move with Cade York. I mean, week 1 in Carolina when he hit that 58-yarder to win that game feels like a distant memory. You know, there was so much hype around him a year ago, and then, you know, from that missed extra point against the Jets in week 2, you know, it seems like it's been downhill from there. The misses against Kansas City just kind of seemed like the final nail in the coffin. Kevin Stefanski really obviously yesterday did not commit to Cade York, pretty much saying, you know, we can't make everything's internal, but we think he's really talented. That's kind of code for, you know, they just didn't necessarily believe in him. And actions speak louder than words. You trading a 7th-round pick to get a guy in Dustin Hopkins, who not the greatest kicker, but certainly a solid veteran kicker. Even looking at his numbers, you know, almost 85% for his career. And looking at kicks inside 50 yards, just doing the quick math, it's about 90.2% inside 50 yards. So that's humongous, you know. To have a guy where when you get inside 50 yards, you got a pretty darn good shot to make a kick. I also saw a number out somewhere, I think it was like 16 of 18 on field goals inside 2 minutes, which we saw was a major problem with York the last 2 preseason games in Philly when he missed the 2 chances, and then again in Kansas City when we got the kick block. So it's just a move they had to make. You can't really have any questions going into week 1, especially if you're playing the AFC North. Maybe if you were playing against teams like the Colts or the Texans or the Cardinals early on in the schedule, maybe you could try it and see one last time you can keep around with as foot-loaded as the schedule is. You have to eliminate almost all uncertainty, and that included Cade York, and getting a solid veteran in there to replace him in Dustin Hopkins, that was simply a must.
And really, the thing is, you want to know what you have in your field goal kicker inside of 50. 9 times out of 10, Dustin Hopkins has made the kicks.